What's up, guys? Raul Espinoza here with the Iowa Entrepreneur Podcast. My guest today is Lindsey Dacey. She is with Century 21. She's a real estate agent here in Central Iowa. Welcome to the podcast, Lindsey.
Hello. Thank you.
Hi. So let's get started. Go ahead and talk about your story. Like, how did you get into the real estate business? What did you do before, and then what made you transition into real estate?
Yeah. Well, actually, it goes back to my days at Iowa State. I got a degree in housing. And once I finished college, I moved out to the Chicago area and worked for a home builder as a new home specialist.
So you went to Chicago? I didn't know that.
Yep.
That's cool.
So I was in the suburbs of Chicago for about 4.5 years working for a home builder. And
so what did that entail? Like home? So you worked for him?
Yep. I was in the sales on the showroom, and basically from the beginning of the home buyers process, I walked them through the models and through the design process, helped them pick out their finishes, the lots, everything from building from scratch all the way to the finish of the home. So
you did that for 4.5 years. And then what made you want to move back and get into real estate?
Yeah. Well, we moved back to Iowa in January of 2009. So I got out of the real estate industry in Chicago kind of right when the recession was starting out there, and decided to take some time out of real estate when we moved back and went back to work for a previous employer. And then I had my first child in 2011 and wanted to find something that gave me a little bit more flexibility to be home. And that's when I decided to get my real estate license here in Iowa.
Fun. So you've been in the real estate business now for 6+ years?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So decided to get licensed summer of 2013 is when I started.
Okay. So when you got started, were you just already marketing yourself, or did you get into Century 21 then, or were you in a different
Nope.
branch?
I talked to 3 or 4 different brokers in the Des Moines area. And at the time, I started off with Coldwell Banker and was with them for about the first 3 years of my business. And now I'm with Century 21. Okay.
And for those who are listening and don't know, they might think you're with Century 21, but ideally they're just kind of the umbrella of it. And you, how does that go? How does that work?
Yep. We're all independent contractors. So we all run our businesses individually.
Okay. And so that means you pay for every marketing dollar that you spend.
Pretty much.
And you're out there putting yourself out there daily.
Correct.
So would you say, is it kind of like a 9 to 5, or is it a 24/7 kind of thing?
It's a 24/7. So you pretty much have to be available when your clients are needing you.
So when you decided to get started, how does that work? So for example, what if I wanted to get into real estate? What would I have to do to kind of start looking?
You would first have to take your classes. So there's 60 hours of classes.
Wow.
And then you have to take ethics and law, and you have to pass the state and national exam.
Bet those aren't easy.
And then you have to renew every 3 years.
Oh, fun.
Yep.
So you not only have to spend all this time learning about the industry, then you have to keep it fresh on your mind every 3 years.
Yep. You're constantly getting educated and learning.
Wow. So then once you went through those steps and you found, you said Coldwell Banker, you started selling homes right off the bat, or how did that happen?
I did. Started July 1, and I closed 6 homes in the first 6 months of 2013.
Very cool. So you sold 6 homes in the first 6 months. So how many homes do you think you've sold in the past 6 years?
I don't know over the last 6 years, but from there, I know the first full year, I went from 6 to 24 homes, and then I've been averaging about 32 to 36 annually.
Cool. And for those for like me that don't know the industry well, is that above average, would you say? I
would say it keeps me busy.
Keeps you busy?
I don't know what the average is.
Okay, cool. So, but I know I've had friends that went into real estate, and they were agents, and they kind of burnt out after the first year. Yep. So, I mean, you've done this for 6 years straight now. Yeah.
The first 3 to 5 years is the toughest. When you get through those years, I would say you've gotten kind of the business down. You've learned what's worked, what hasn't worked for you. And if you can get past that first 3 to 5 years, I would say you're doing good.
Yeah. Would you give any real estate agents any tips on how maybe to get through that hump that they're right now, for example, they don't feel Like they might make it. Is there any tips you have for them?
Keep going. Don't give up. So
just don't give up.
Don't give up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something with almost every business. I think you just got to keep pushing.
There's going to be challenges every day. There's going to be ups and downs. It definitely feels like a roller coaster the first few years. So
would you say you have a passion for real estate?
I do. Yep.
And then so with families, or what makes you feel fulfilled throughout your day when you get back home?
Just knowing that I have helped my clients with the largest investment of their lives usually. So just helping anywhere from, I have a passion for first-time home buyers, walking them through the process from start to finish. Handing the keys over at closing is always a success, and rewarding, just knowing that I have been there for them through the process. Open communication is huge. Working with me, and just,
So what would you say helps differentiate you from all the others? Because there's a lot of real estate agents out there.
There is. Yeah, there's a lot of competition. So I think when I started 6 years ago, maybe there was about 1,500 agents in the Des Moines area. And I think we're up over 23 or 2,400 now.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So I would say, again, my communication. Yeah, with the agents, always kind of putting them first in the transaction, of course, getting to know them. Building that relationship is really important from the beginning. Getting to know their needs and their wants through the transaction, and just really getting to know them on a personal level and building that friendship and relationship. Cool.
So what comes to mind for me whenever people talk about real estate is, first off, do I need a real estate agent? And then the process is simple. Like I can sell my own house. Can you explain to those who maybe haven't bought a home and are thinking about either buying or selling their home, why have a real estate agent?
Sure. Real estate agents play a huge part in selling or buying a home, just to help make sure that you're on the right track. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that home buyers and home sellers aren't aware of. So anywhere from negotiating the offer, making sure the home is priced right for the market, working with your closer, attorneys, home inspectors, making sure the termite inspection's ordered. There's 100 steps from start to finish when both buying and selling. So to have a professional that does it every day is key to make sure that the transaction is successful for both sellers and buyers.
Not only successful, but it makes it quicker, doesn't it?
Yep.
Cool. So take us through, for example, the steps to home buying. So for example, I've never purchased a home. So I'm thinking about buying a home. I reach out to you and say, hey, do we need to start looking at homes now? We're thinking about buying a home. What steps would you take us through?
The first step I would ask is, have you been pre-approved? Have you met with a lender? Do you have any lender recommendations to reach out to make sure that you're pre-approved and on the right track to be able to purchase the first home? So, and then I always meet with my first-time home buyers, usually very casually over coffee or at the office, and
just to get to know them.
We set up a MLS search, get to know what they're looking for, location, budget, things like that. And then we kind of put together a game plan and a time frame of how soon they want to be in their home. And that kind of determines on when we actually start the search. And then once they're ready to get out and take a look at the homes, we compile a list of their favorite homes to get out and see. Once we find the home, then it goes under contract, and within the first 7 to 10 days, we usually do the home inspection. And then from the home inspection, once that is all in the clear, we're moving towards the closing, making sure the final loan is getting finalized, setting up the close date, all the final closing details are in place.
And then you hand over the keys.
Hand over the keys at closing.
Cool. Fun. So I was always curious about the process. It just seems sort of really a busy time, and a lot of tough decisions are made. But I think having someone like yourself to be there next to you every time makes it a little less, stressful.
From start to finish, once you find the home, you're usually in 45, 60 days after the offer is accepted. So,
wow. That is cool.
And between the offer and closing, I'm always in contact weekly with my clients, just checking in, making sure everything is on track, and we're moving along.
Yeah, I've seen you work. You're on social media a lot, and you're out there working hard, making videos and everything. That's really cool. Would you say that's been a really important part of your business success?
It's something new
Yeah.
that I started this year, and so yep, I'm trying to stay consistent with it, which is tough sometimes, but
cool.
Yeah, trying to get out there and just help the community and bring a lot of insight to Ankeny, and yeah.
So you have a nice family too, right? So
sure.
What's life like with family?
Busy. So I'm full-time real estate plus full-time mother of 2. I've got an 8-year-old and a 2-year-old. So 8-year-old's active and after-school activities and stuff. So yeah.
Very cool. Would you say work-life balance exists for a real estate agent?
It does, but it takes a while to find that. So I'm still working on work-life balance. I've got a very supportive husband, which has been very helpful. So
very cool.
A lot of times I'll be walking out the door and he'll be walking in the evenings, but it works. But this year I hired my first assistant, which has been very helpful. And that has taken a lot of work off my plate in the evenings and stuff where I can be home more with my family.
So how would you say for those who feel like work-life balance is impossible and they're in the real estate business now, they've kind of been in the ball game like you have for 5+ years. What is one thing that you did that would help them kind of try and get back and organize their life a little bit?
Time management. Just try and work your schedule during the day. I know it's not always easy because a lot of times buyers work 8 to 5 and the best time for them to go out is in the evenings or weekends. So, but just try and work your calendar as best as you can during the day so you can be home with your family.
All right. Well, is there anything else you'd like to tell us today about real estate?
Real estate's always changing. It's always local. Yeah. So I love what I do. Most of my business is referral based. So I don't do a lot of, some new agents think they have to get out there and really work Zillow and the internet leads. But I have found to be more successful just working my SOI, my sphere, family, friends, past clients to really build those relationships and help grow my business that way.
So for the viewers and listeners out there, what can they do to help someone like in your business? Like, would they share your videos, or should they, maybe see if they have a family member that's looking for a house, maybe be like, give them your card, or what's the best thing that they can do for you?
First, you want to make sure that you're a good fit with the clients. So if I've never worked with them before, maybe just reach out, ask some questions, ask for referrals,
of course,
and things like that. Because I want to make sure that I would be a good fit for their family or friend. But check out my Facebook, my website, and
And so what is your website?
LindseyDacey.com.
LindseyDacey.com. All right. Well, thanks, Lindsey.
Yeah. Thank you.